Let's do some math problems. Math 61. Testing 1, 2, 3. It's working. Let's do 2 assignments. And homework 13 is due on the 4th. Today, let's do homework 14. Let's move this to the side. This out. Oops. Okay, be half and half. Alright. The expression 5x times 7x plus 2 equals 5x times 7x plus 5x times 2 by the distribution property. Next, the expression 7x minus 2 minus 1 squared equals, well, it's the base times base, which is the same thing times the same thing, which is this one. Pretty easy. Next. Oh, that's weird, it's lagging. Oh no. You have to go next. That's weird. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. So this is number 3. Number 3 is x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 9. To multiply two, I guess these would be called two terms, or two x's, or two bases to the same powers. It'd be called the product rule, and the product rule is to add the powers. That is x to the power of 14. Another way of seeing this is x times 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 x, which is equal to x to the power of 14. In this case, I'm going to have to say x, and I'm going to hit the shift up arrow, which is the shift 6, and type in 1, 4, enter. Next question, enter again. And it didn't work. That's kind of annoying. So I have to actually manually click the next question. Okay. Number 4. It says, perform the indicated operation if possible. Now, there's no way to add these because they are not like terms, So the answer is clearly the addition of unlike terms cannot be performed. Enter. Good job. Next question. Number 5. This is multiplication. You can clearly see it's the exact same problem as number 3. X to the power of 8 times x to the power of 7, because it is multiply, is basically x times 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 x, which is going to be 15 x's total. 8 plus 7 equals x to the power of 15. I'll type that in here. Typing in 1, 5, shift 6, which is the up arrow, and it is, oops, delete it all. X, shift 6, that's the up arrow. You could also hit the power button right there. 15, enter. There it is. See if it goes to the next question this time. Ooh. I guess the enter button doesn't hit, it's not targeting the next question, so that's why it didn't work. Number 6. Addition? Nope. Cannot. Wait, they are like terms. Ooh, like terms. like terms. I almost fell for that. So it is 1x to the power of 10 plus 1x to the power of 10. If I'm adding 1x to the power of 10 to another x to the power of 10, that is equal to 2 x's to the power of 10. So I will type that in. Hopefully that's an answer. 2x, shift up arrow, which is the 6, shift 6, and type in the 10, enter. Fantastic, that was it. Number 7. Number 7 is don't fall for the freshman's dream. Always write it down twice. X minus 3y times the exact same thing, x minus 3y, because these are the base. Base times the base, that's the definition of exponents. 2 is multiply the base times itself twice. And if you FOIL this, it's going to be x squared, the front 2, minus 3xy, which is going to be x times 3xy. And the next one is the inner, FOI, is minus 3xy. And the last is negative 3 times negative 3, which makes it a positive 9. And y times y is y squared. The only thing we have to do is combine like terms. Negative 3xy minus 3xy is going to be a negative 6. And there's the negative 6, the only difference. Hit enter. Well done. And you have to click on next question because it's not targeted. That's the only way. Okay. I'm going to go to the next page. Clear that. I am now on number 8. Number 8 is multiply 7x to the 5th times 7x to the 3rd. So 4, not 7, 4x to the 5th times 7x to the power of 3. The way this is going to work is I'm going to first, because everything is multiply, I can multiply in any order I want to. That is called the commutative law of multiplication, which says if everything is multiplied, you may rearrange these in any order you want to, and I am definitely going to organize the 4 and times 7 together in the front. And then x to the 5th times x to the 3, well, that's the product rule. 5 plus 3 is 8. The product rule of exponents. Let's type this in. 28x, shift 6, and type in 8. Enter. Nice work. Normally, if you're doing a test, there would be no way to check your work, but most of the time there are ways to check your work. I'll definitely check if you have that chance because it makes a big difference. So minus 4n squared times 7n to the 5th. See this one. Of course, it's the exact same problem as number 8. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. N squared times n to the 5th is n to the 7th. 2 plus 5 is 7. Let's type that answer in. Negative 28 n, shift up arrow, which is the 6. Enter in a 7 into the power. And it should say it's correct. Good, well done. Next problem. Number 10 is a big one. Oops, wrong color. Number 10. It is 5x to the 4th times negative 4x to the 4th again times 4x to the 3rd. Alright, so what are we going to do? We're going to multiply, and change the order, we're going to remove all parentheses, and then change the order in such a way where I multiply all the numbers together. 5 times negative 4 times 4 times, and I'm going to use a different color here, times x to the 4 times x to the 4 times x to the 3. So you see that all comes together. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Negative 20 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8, so negative 80. Like 20 times 4 is 80. I'm thinking 20 times 4 is 80. It's negative 4 plus 3, no, 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Cross your fingers, this is a lot of work. There's a high chance of having error. Luckily, if we make a mistake, we have multiple attempts. That should be a Shift 6 that gives that, puts it in the power. 1, 1, enter. Whew, got it right. Alright, I need to move on to a new page. New page. We're on number 11. Number 11 is clearly distribution. We write the problem down. 4x, 9x plus 7. I'm going to do this one in orange. Distribution is just this. This 4x term is going to multiply into every term inside the polynomial in the parentheses. So the first term in the parentheses is 9x, so 4x times 9x. And after a while, you should get really good at this, where you're just going to go 4 times 9 is 36, x times x is x squared. You should be getting, after you do a couple problems, you should be getting this fast. 4 times 7 is 28, and there's 1x. There we go. This should be how you normally solve these problems this quickly without doing all that work. So let's type in the answer, 36, x, shift 6, which is the up arrow, 2 for the square. I'm going to hit the right arrow to get out of the exponents. Hit the plus button, 28x, and then I'm going to hit the enter, and it says nice work. Moving on. When you're doing these problems, the total homework should take you about an hour average. It's going to take me longer because I'm showing all my work. Normally I would just type in the answer like super fast. I already know that this is 7x to the 3 because I can see that it's just going to add 2 x's there. But I'm showing my work over here. So this is why it's taking me longer than an hour to solve these. 7x times x squared plus 6x minus 6. Let's do this one in blue. 7x times x squared is just going to be 7x cubed. 7 times 6 is 42, and x times x is x squared. 7 times negative 6 is going to make it negative 42, and there's only one x between those two. There's almost no work here. I would have just typed in the answer because there's no work. Shift 6 to get to that power. Just remember, if you don't want to do Shift 6, you can just hit the button right here to make it go to the exponent. If you're in the exponent, you just hit the right arrow to get out of the exponent. Hit the plus 42, x, shift 6, 2, right arrow, minus 42x. Enter. Cross your fingers. We got it right. Whew. Excellent day. Moving on. Number 13. I thought I changed colors. Oh, I hit twice. Every time I switch screens, I have to hit it twice. Negative 4a times a plus 6. Okay, so negative 4a times a plus 6. Negative 4a times a. Negative 4a times a is negative 4a squared. A times a is a squared. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24, and there's only one a between the two. Let's type it in. Negative 4a shift 6, that's the up arrow, squared, that's a 2, right arrow, minus 24a, enter. And there we go, the answer is correct. What? Number 14. So we got 4x times 3x squared minus 5x plus 5. Alright, let's do this one in blue. Ooh, this is a pretty, this is more of an advanced problem, so I'm going to do the numbers first. 4 times 3 is 12. X times x squared is x cubed, because that's 1 plus 2. Next one. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. X times x is x squared. Last one. 4 times 5 is a positive 20, and there's only one x between the two, so it's just going to be x. type in that answer. 12x shift up arrow, which is a 6. Type in a 3 in there for the third pair. Right arrow to move out, minus 20x shift 6 to get that up arrow, 2 plus 20x, and then hit enter. And there it is. Fantastic. Moving on to number 15. Let's go down. New page. Number 15. Ooh, this one looks pretty big. Negative 3a squared times 4a squared minus 3a plus 4. Here we go. Always do the numbers first. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. I'm not going to do the whole thing in one shot because it's already too much to remember, so I'm only going to do a little bit at a time, which is negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. A squared times a squared is 2 plus 2 is 4, a to the power of 4. That's the product rule of exponents. Next term, negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. A squared times a is just going to be a to the power of 3. Next term, negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. We have a squared. Let's type in that answer. Negative 12a, and then go shift 6 to get the up arrow. Type in the 4 to the power, plus 9a, shift 6, get up to the power, 3, right arrow, minus 12a, shift 6, get up in the power, 2. Enter. Well done. I think I'll do the next problem showing you how I click the button to get to that exponent. Because I think somebody might want to do that. I don't know. Negative y parentheses 7. No, I don't think I need to do the clicking the button. If someone's clicking the button, that's actually the easier way, but I think that was just too easy. Wow, this one is pretty intense. Okay, number 16. Let's do this one in purple. Sure. Alright, so this one is complicated. Now, the number of the negative y term is negative 1. So negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. Y times x to the 3 is just x to the 3 times y, or y times x to the 3. I will put it in alphabetical order, even though it shouldn't matter. I think it might mark you wrong if you don't put it in alphabetical order. I'm not sure. I can test it though. Negative 1 times negative 6 is a positive 6. And basically we're just going to add another y, so y times y is y squared. Next one, negative xy cubed, because I'm just adding another y and changing the sign. And the last one, negative 5y to the 4th. Same thing, multiplying by negative. Let's see. Negative 7x shift. Let's clear this button for you guys. Just for you guys. See, I get out of the way. Oh, it says I want to write in the number 3. So I click the button and I hit 3. It does the same thing as shift 6. But I like shift 6 because clicking the button is easier. Hitting shift 6 is easier than clicking the button. Plus 6 x shift 6 2 right arrow y shift 6 2 right arrow minus x y shift 6, there's 3 for third power, right arrow minus 5y shift 6 4, enter. Cross your fingers, got it right. High chance of getting a mistake there. There's so much going on. 17. Oh, this one looks a lot easier, a lot better. Negative 4x, more reasonable. X squared plus 5x minus 9. Let's do it in blue. Alright, negative 4. x cubed, just adding another x. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20, and 2 x's between the two. Negative 4 times negative 9 is a positive 36, and there's only one x between the two. Type in the answer. Negative 4 x to the power of 3, shift 6 to the power of 3, right arrow, minus 20 x shift 6 to the power of 2, right arrow, plus 36 x, enter, and it says good job. Whew. Alright, and polynomial times polynomial, number 20, or number 18. Okay, we got x plus 7 times x plus 5, and this is just FOIL. I'm going to do this one in green. We're in F, O, I, L. The first two, or the front two, is x times x. X times x is x squared. The outer two is x times 5, or 5 times x. The inner two is 7 times x. There we go. And the last two is 7 times 5, which is 35. It is not done until we combine like terms, and these two in the middle are always going to be like terms. So you should always double check the middle two terms. 5x plus 7x, in this case, adds up to 12x's. Like 5 apples plus 7 apples is 12 apples. Let's type it in. X shift 6 to get the power. 2 squared plus 12x plus 35. Enter. And well done. I'm going to do, I think I'll do 2 more problems and I'll take a break. Number 19. Number 19. A plus 7, A minus 5. Alright, we're going to FOIL again, but I'm not going to write the F-O-I-L. I'm just going to do it like this. A squared minus 5a plus 7a and minus 35. Combine like terms, we get a squared. Well, negative 5 plus 7 is a little bit tricky math here. It's the same thing as 7 minus 5. So if I took away 5 apples and I gained 7 apples, I will end up with 2 apples. Minus 35. Those are the only like terms. Type that in. A shift 6 squared, which is 2, right arrow, plus 2a minus 35. Enter. Fantastic. Click on next question. New problem. Number 20. Ooh, it's getting even more advanced. 5x minus 8, 2x minus 4. By the way, 2x minus 4 is not a prime polynomial because it's 2 times x minus 2. Not something you should worry about right now, but we'll talk about that later. Here we go. Another way of representing FOIL. The front two is 10x squared. The outer two is 5x times negative 4. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20, and there's an x. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16x. And negative 8 times negative 4 is a negative 32. Combine like terms last. So a negative plus another negative is going to be just add those negatives together. You borrow 20 bucks and you borrow 16 bucks, that means you owe a total of 36. Minus 36. X minus 32. Let's type that answer in. 10x shift 6 to right arrow minus 36 x minus 32. Enter. Made a mistake. Oh my gosh. Let's double check our stuff here. 5x times 2x is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. There's my mistake right there. Whew. Oops, change color, guys. This was my mistake. So 5x times negative 4 is 20. Wait, where's my mistake? That's not the mistake. Wait, 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And 8 times 2 is negative 16. No, negative times negative. Gotta watch those negatives. Negative times negative is a positive 32. And that makes this a plus 32 also. There's my mistake. Let's change that to a plus instead of a minus. No fear. If you miss all the attempts and it locks you out, you could always click on the similar question problem. It'll reset the problem so you can get 100% grade on your homework. So nobody should be getting anything but 100% as long as you spend the time. Taking a break. I'll see you guys in the next video.